All right. This comes mostly from from me listening to the Deep Program. This is a podcast with apparently that guy Second Thought, Hakeem and Ugopnik. Um, I'm sorry for the cold, but yeah, I felt the need. I felt compelled because it was so ridiculous, and just the cheap attempts at trying to appeal to ordinary people shows me that the game doesn't change. It's just the people. The first thing, they spent a good chunk, I would say up to half an hour, talking about how it was so awful you know, the Soviet Union did to religion. And all I have to do is read something from Lenin to prove that this is bullshit. So he says, let us recall in his essay on this dictum by Marx is the cornerstone of the whole Marx's outlook on religion. Marxism has always regarded all modern religions and churches and each and every religious organization as instruments of bourgeois reaction that serve to defend exploitation and to befuddle the working classes. So you can't now suddenly be like, well, that fits the time. That fits the time. This and that. It's ridiculous when you hear that sort of sentiment. Secondly, of course, when they actually get a reaction to it, they're just like, and when they actually get arguments to people, they're just like, eat my ass. And of course, they make jokes and say stuff like this. It was funny to me when that Ugopnik in particular said basically is that he didn't feel sorry for his girlfriend's grandfather, whose business was nationalized and he ended up, losing his business. He didn't feel sorry for her, or didn't feel sorry for him, I should say. And so I say to myself, you know, these people have no understanding of how to talk to ordinary people. Now, this doesn't mean, oh, well, you should go out and join the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but these things will always stay. And the thing is, here's my hot take. Here's my hot take. Is I don't even think socialism, even in the Marxian sense, was completely awful. But the people that really promote it nowadays, as I said this on Twitter, but basically these folks live in the past. They refer to talking about Lenin or Stalin, or they'll just say edgy things like, Stalin didn't kill enough people, this and that. It's just like, how does that get people on your side? It shows that they just want to be edgy and they just want to say the most I shouldn't even say reactionary, but just the most wild shit that comes out of their mouth. And that's not really how you win people over. The thing, too, is it's interesting, of course, they go on and on about, oh, well, we should respect religion. You shouldn't, destroy churches, this and that. But I think when it came to surveillance, talking about, what goes on with iPhones, once again, I don't disagree with that. But what do they say? Well, we're going to get rid of that surveillance. No, they imply that, well, surveillance, what the Stasi did was bad, but ultimately they're not going to get rid of the, the surveillance that's going on under capitalist societies. It's not going to happen. They don't imply it. They don't say, well, we should try to limit, that sort of thing. Instead, they talk about various folks and defend the position of censorship, and they defend surveillance of ordinary people. So to me, I think it's interesting to see how lopsided their beliefs are. But to me, like I say, I didn't even want to give this a lot of credit, but I think that it's just ridiculous when you see these folks. You see this with a lot of just bullshit YouTubers. And hell, this may end up being me, but I doubt it. I really do, because podcasts, you got to have like 2 or 3 people. I like to talk on my own. I'm more like a Rush Limbaugh type, as cringe as that is, but I'd rather just talk 20 or 30 minutes, maybe give or take, and give my bullshit takes and, end it there. In a group setting, I'm not that good. Pretty autistic, and I'm just it's very awkward, like I say. When I was talking with, the other path on various streams, I've just been very awkward. But anyway, beyond that, just a bit of criticism. But when you hear these folks, and of course they'll make their jokes about these things, you realize that these folks don't want don't really want the change. They just want to hold their beliefs, and they want the world to meld to them. And the thing is that they hold such bullshit views or whatever the case may be, and they continue to produce the same bullshit, and they just make a podcast, right? You think about people, for example, like what is that guy's name? Three Arrows, the Suck Dem. He later started the Iron Dice podcast where he can put out his own bullshit. Usually he speaks on his own, but he'll have guests. And you listen to this bullshit and you realize, oh, nobody wants to watch your bullshit videos, so now you're just going to do a podcast where you can get whatever money you can get from it, So that's real, like I say, and you've seen this recently where it's like, this isn't like 2004 or something like that. You shouldn't be doing a podcast today. It's just like, there are literally millions of podcasts out there. Why would we want to listen to your bullshit where you basically just like, yeah, we need to listen to your bullshit, bro? It's just ridiculous to me. Like I say, people can disagree with me, but it's just, I listen to this crap and I'm just like, oh, you guys really don't want a system, do you? You really don't want to win. You'll give all this lip service to religion, but when it comes to like surveillance and whatnot, you don't really oppose it. You're going to use those same systems that are in place. Like I say, like I say, I'm disappointed in politics in general. I don't even know where to go really, but it's all just ridiculous nonsense in my opinion. I think the older you get, you either become like a super duper like, ideologue where it's just like Marxist Leninism is the only way, or fascism is the only way, or whatever. Or you become somebody who's so embittered, and that's the road I'm going down, I think, unfortunately, but I'm going down the road of I don't care. I don't care about whatever political position you preach for, because ultimately you don't really mean it, or you can't really bring it to fruition. I think that's all I really have. I apologize for my voice, folks. But it is what it is. Anyway, I think that's all I got. So see you later. A goodbye.